Hey everybody, did you miss me? I was writing another video and thinking, oh, I'm such a good kid, I'm not making it about how much I fucking hate Anchor, but you know what? It's been long enough. Here's my own personal call-out post trademark for Anchor of ZiNG. Big disclaimer before the actual video, obviously this isn't an actual call-out. What do you think I am? What do I look like to you? This is in no way, shape, or form going to affect that man or his image, and I honestly don't care enough to make it do so. This is barely even a, hey, this guy sucks, so bear that in mind if you like his music. It's literally just that if I have to live with this information, I think you should too. So enjoy. So as some of you may know if you're usually here for A3, Anchor is a music producer who has a ton of songs for A3, including but not limited to the songs for Dead Undead, Uraomote, Runway, several of the second solos, and most recently the song for Sky Gallery. Every time Liver Entertainment gives him more money, I start screaming in the walls for reasons that I'm going to explain here. But for this, we need to take a trip back to the 2011 Vocaloid community where we'll find one of Vocaloid Pro era icons, Kemu, who has also since made songs for A3, and his very good friend, Suzumu. Suzumu used to help Kemu on his songs as part of the Dojin unit KemuVox until he started writing lyrics and then even music himself. Alongside another producer, One Half-B, he started a long-form story song project called Shuen no Shiori Project, where he wrote the lyrics and overall handled the story. Suzumu also eventually began writing his own music as well, and was going to do a project on his own. Things were going great for Mr. Suzumu! Until one day in 2015 when he posted a long letter explaining that he was retiring as a Vocaloid producer. Apparently, this whole time he'd been passing off other people's work as his own. Lyrics, songs, arrangements, performances, you name it, he was faking it. He'd also been spreading rumors about other people to put them at a disadvantage, even people who were his friends. And of course the money he got from doing music wasn't really his own, so that was dishonest money too. At that point, according to the letter, he could no longer handle the guilt, and so he was owning up to his actions and leaving the community. He was leaving the name Suzumu behind and becoming a more honest person. Sounds good, right? But of course I wouldn't be talking about this if that was where it ended. You might ask what the retirement of a Vocaloid producer in 2015 has to do with why I hate Anchor. Well, you know how Suzumu said he was leaving his name behind? That's because he was changing it entirely and moving away to produce music under a different name in a different community. That's right! He became Anchor! Aside from the fact that his sound is basically the same, Anchor's discography includes the Danganronpa ending sung by Soraru, which was originally credited to Suzumu. This in itself is like, whatever. If he's decided to clean up his act and start producing under a new name, then sure, good for him. What really gets my goat, what grinds my gears, what fucking pisses me off, is that he hasn't seemed to learn his lesson. Note that the tweets I'll bring up are from 2019, which is already quite a few years ago by now, but it's still less time than has passed since he allegedly retired. On October 10th, 2019, Anchor tweeted about how this was the day that he died, aka the day he left. I unfortunately don't have all the tweets for this because he probably got tackled by his manager to get rid of them before anyone saw. He made some ha funny jokes about he's slipping around because it's raining and he didn't bring an umbrella, which is a reference to his last album before he disappeared, the 8th day before the rain stops. You know, it's been a few years and I honestly still don't know if I'm biased or if this is, kinda fucked up. On one hand, sure, funny, you died, you got another chance at life. On the other hand, we still don't really know how much of Suzumu's stuff was actually his own, and how much was taken from other people who are most likely still affected until now. I might as well say here that Kemu is a big part of why I'm talking about this right now. A lot of people assume that because his disappearance was around the same time that Suzumu started coming under fire, that Kemu was the one who was stolen from. He's since returned and explained that no, they are in fact still very good friends to this day. He also says that Suzumu is a presence that he cannot do without, so that's something. So it is kind of fucked up that Anchor's first song for A3 was for Dead Undead, the zombie play, where they really let him write about coming back from the dead and carving your name into history and denying a tragedy? And the latest of Anchor's songs for A3 has truly driven me mad. It's pretty much why I actually started to try finish writing this script. You see, he last wrote a song for Summer Troop's Sky Gallery. A story about art, about finding your own voice, about picking yourself up after you're torn apart on the internet, with people saying that you didn't rightfully get to where you were, because that's not true, right? No, of course not. Everyone else is wrong and you just need to take this as a stepping stone to improve yourself. And that's just the event story. The play itself has straight up forgery and passing off another's work as your own. I'm not even kidding. Not only do you have Yuki and Muka's characters trying to submit each other's art since they admire each other so much, Tenma's character, who originally gave up on art, tries to pass off one of his own paintings as Misumi's in an effort to get it recognized by Kazu's character, the gallery owner. Obviously, the moral of the story is that it's actually not good to hide behind others and to be honest with your own art, but it just kind of feels bad, you know? Anchor's lyrics in Mizuere Canvas do a real good job of making this worse, too, with "It's too late now to talk about my regrets, so I pushed them down as if they never existed," and "There's no need for you to find a reason to compare yourself to someone else." It's so much! Okay, it might get a little dark from here with some things I have to bring up, so I don't fault anyone for not finishing the video. Thanks for making it this far! So, Kazu Seiyu had to get replaced last year, right? I'm not gonna go into details, of course, but basically the last guy was an abuser and got exiled from the industry for the most part. To me, Sky Gallery being so eerily similar to certain events is kinda like when that happened, and then afterwards we got Act 11, where Mankai's performance gets boycotted and they get threats for having Bandi as the lead, because there was video footage of him on the internet beating up some random guy. Which, again, kind of an insane thing to do right after you replace one of your voice actors in real life, because he literally did a fucking crime. Liberant really dragged their heels on that one, as opposed to, say, Anste, who replaced him without a word, or even that guy's own manager who just dropped him. But no, not only did they dawdle, they really released a main story segment that was like, "Hey, you would still love Bandikun even if he assaulted someone, right? He did it for Mankai, because he loves to act, and because he loves them!" I'm not gonna say that they wrote either of these storylines around real life on purpose. I am always of the mind that Liberant are not that stupid, although I'm well aware that every time I say this, they like to prove me wrong. But please don't do that this time. Whichever of your employees is watching this, please, for the love of God, don't do that for once. But I do still think it is very fucked up that they behaved this way. I'm also very much asking for everyone to not complain to them, because I already joked about if I wrote this video about Anchor, they would find a way to make a story that was like him, and it happened before I even finished the damn thing. So yeah, you know how people say like don't complain on Twitter to companies, just send the email to them instead. Actually, don't do that. Please don't email them. Don't tell them. We can all just sit here seething. I don't care. This isn't even all the stuff that lives in my head. I know that I said if I have to live with this information, so do you, but even I know that there are some things that not everybody needs to know. Anyway, this is your yearly insight into the Pandora's box that is my knowledge of Anchor-san discourse and Liberant being stupid. Happy death anniversary, Anchor, you goddamn bastard. Cheers to you never haunting my line of sight ever again. This one was a little different, I think. I have another one in the works about a Vocaloid-related thing. You may have noticed that I'm not really into A3 anymore. If you are following my Twitter, I'm so sorry. It probably does mean that the other videos I have planned might not be finished. I still have one that I really want to do, but I don't know when it'll happen. So I guess just, if you want to stick around, go ahead. Thank you for listening to me, as always, and if you want to find me, you can see me on Twitter, and that's pretty much it. Bye.